Hey, if you don't know, my name is Keith. I do Black Quarterback Series, and today we're breaking down the signing of Cam Newton. I'm going to talk about my rule scheme, what we can expect for the season, and just some bullet points that I think are important going forward in this whole Cam Newton experiment of the return of Cam Newton. So, sit back, enjoy. Let's get it.
First day in the books. Many more days to follow. Boogie's back.
So, if you haven't heard the news, Cam is back in Carolina. Signed a $10 million deal for the whole year. They should have kept Cam in the first place. They shouldn't have gotten rid of him to begin with when they got rid of him, because just off the simple fact that he was injured. He was injured. That was the reason he wasn't as successful as he should have been when he was there the first time. So they wasted all this money and picks and everything else just to re-sign Cam when they could have just stuck with Cam initially and been good. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about Matt Rule's scheme. And so from what I saw about Matt Rule's scheme, it said he was his own read option scheme, but I've never seen him run that. I've very rarely seen him run read options or anything like that. Judging he had Sam Darnold throwing the ball over 40 times. I think it looks like he's running more conventional. I don't want to call it West Coast because I'm not well versed in schemes and stuff. But it didn't look like it was any type of zone read option. Let me know if I'm wrong, because I haven't really watched Carolina ball, but when I did watch it, I didn't get zone read option from it, which zone read is pretty much just running concepts, but I just didn't see it. And so, three things that are going to be huge for Cam Newton going forward: Christian McCaffrey's health, DJ Moore, and Robbie Anderson. So, DJ Moore and Robert Anderson will be his two best receivers that he's, other than Steve Smith, obviously, his two best receivers that he's ever had in Carolina, regardless of the year. You pick a year. The Super Bowl year, he had Ted Ginn Jr. and Kelvin Benjamin was hurt that year, and Kelvin Benjamin ended up being a huge bust. So DJ Moore is 59 receptions, 677 yards, and 3 touchdowns this year. Robert Anderson is 19 receptions, 206 yards, and 2 touchdowns. We all know Christian McCaffrey is dealing with the injuries that he's dealing with, and this team just falls completely off the face of the map when Christian McCaffrey is not there. So I think they'll be fine now that they got Cam, and the defense. The defense is always inconsistent, so we'll see where that goes. I think Cam will do well. When it first came to mind, and it was like, what do you think Cam will be like? What will his numbers be by the season's end, going into the playoffs? First thing that came to me was 15 touchdowns, 8 picks with 4 rushing touchdowns. Now, I think that's much. I think that's a little much. It will probably be more or less 10-10 or 12-9, or they'll be closer to 50% most likely. But the rushing touchdowns might be high. So we just have to see. We don't know how Cam is going to fit into this offense. We just don't know. So it gauges off what Cam can do in this offense. So you would ask me, what do you think they're going to go down the stretch? So I think they're going to go 6-2. And I think their 2 losses will be against Tom Brady in the Bucs, because that team is just so talented. I don't think Carolina has enough horsepower to deal with that team at all. But when you look at the schedule, because I'm not counting next week or this coming up week. He's not going to play this week, obviously, because they signed him Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday. Obviously, he's not going to play this week. So we have Washington, Miami, then there's a bye. Then we have Atlanta, Buffalo, Tom Brady, the Saints, and then Tom Brady again to end the season. Which that last game will probably be for the wild card slot. Washington, I just don't know what Washington is doing. So I never want to pick for Washington, so I think they can get that game. Miami, what they did against Baltimore was an aberration. I think they'll regress to the means by that point again. They'll probably lose their next game. They might be coming off a bye. I'm not sure how Miami did it, but I think Carolina can outweigh them. After Miami, they have a bye week, so they can reevaluate what's going on at that point and see what's going on. And Cam can really get into that playbook and learn the offense. So then they can beat Atlanta. They probably could have beat Atlanta without Cam, to be honest with you. Buffalo, that's a rough one. If they was to lose any other game, it'll be Buffalo. That's a toss-up for me, depending on how Josh Allen is playing. Because are we going to get Jacksonville, Carolina? Or are we going to get Jacksonville, Josh Allen? Or are we going to get early this season Josh Allen? Like, we just don't know. So if Jacksonville, Carolina comes, we can get that win. They'll lose to Tom Brady. Definitely can get the win against the Saints. The Saints have Trevor Siemian quarterbacking them right now. And then they have Tom Brady again. Now, if Cam can win either of these Tom Brady games, because I'm expecting the Saints to fall completely off the map. If he can get either one of these Tom Brady games, it gets real serious in the NFC South. So, those are my thoughts on the Cam Newton thing. I think they'll go 6-2, 4-4. I don't think 4-4 puts them in the playoffs, though. That's what I got. Those are my initial thoughts on the Cam Newton thing. Let me know what you think. You think Cam's going to make a difference? You think it's going to be more of the same? Or do you still believe in Sam Darnold for some crazy reason? Let me know in the comment section. If you haven't watched this video, go and watch that video. And I will see you guys Wednesday. If anything else crazy doesn't happen in the NFL.
Without further ado, I will say something that I've been wanting to say for a long time. Keep pounding.